Hi everyone, my name is Ida. I am CDP owner of Matas Group. Before I dig deep into who Matas Group is and how we work with the omnichannel personalization, I just wanted to put some words on who I am. So before I started at Matas, I actually worked at a digital consultancy called Impact Commerce, where I've been working with digital strategy and how B2B and B2C can transform their business using the data. After that, I moved over to Rapture, and many of you might not know who Rapture is, but it's actually a Danish competitor to Tealium. It's not the same platform at all, but it does have CDP and also product recommendation engine and retail media opportunities as well. And finally, after I've been talking with a lot of different businesses, different industries, I got the opportunity to move across the table and finally step into the customer's shoes. So a little bit about Matas, Matas Group. So you just saw the video. This was primarily Matas that is in Denmark. But we do also have other brands called Kicks, which is located in Finland and in Sweden and in Norway. And everything that we do, both in Kicks and Matas, is to make sure that our customers are getting the best customer experience as possible. So we have in total 6 million club members, and we work together with them very much to make sure that every channel or interaction that they have with us, that it's a good experience. And luckily, our customers and the market, they agree. And we actually win a lot of awards, both in our physical stores on retail media, also SoMe, and how we build our apps and omnichannel initiatives. So we are really, really proud of that. But it also it also leads us to constantly being aware of innovation and keep up the pace. So in fast-moving consumer goods and in beauty retail, everything goes really, really fast. And competitors is not a new thing. Everyone has competitors in this room. But as you can see here, we do have a lot of different competitors. And we have to be very mindful of how they are communicating and how we're making sure that our customers are staying in our business. So how do you scale and meet the customer's expectations, all the new trends, without fragmenting the customer journey? So 2 years ago, we knew we had a problem, and we knew that we needed to scale fast, but we also needed to make sure that we had the right data foundation. So we invested in Tealium. Imagine this: as a marketeer, you're standing at the coffee machine, brainstorming with a colleague, and you get this really brilliant idea that you want to execute. But that would be nice, right? Get the idea, execute immediately. But one of the issues that we were experiencing is that we had really high business requirements and also a lot of complexity. And every time that we needed to create an audience or get a new data point, we had to reach out to our data science department. And everyone wants to work with a data scientist. So that also meant that it took some time from actually executing this really, really good idea. And besides that, all our data was unfortunately siloed in a lot of different platforms, so we needed to do something. So for the past 2 years, we have tried to democratize all our customer data into Tealium, making sure that we have one audience hub and one place for all our visitor attributes. Because we are looking into the data foundation that the business actually needs, we are now less dependent on IT, so that the brilliant minds of data scientists can actually work with more complex and more innovative tasks. So this is really great. And because we've looked into where we want to communicate with our customers, making sure that we have the right connectors, we can actually scale fast and actually execute this idea not only on one channel, but all our different channels. And Tealium is obviously real-time, so that means all the dynamic behavioral data that we have, we can actually leverage it and use it to create more like relevant customer experiences. So how do you take all these like strategic goals on we want to be the best omnichannel personalization player and actually doing some specific use cases? So what we did was that we formed 5 must-win battles. We looked into all the different touch points our customers were meeting us and saying, okay, how can we actually connect the data to these different channels? So we looked into the connector opportunities that were in Tealium, and then we looked into, what of the connectors would be native, or which of the connectors should be webhook. And as you can see here, all the different connectors that we have here, not everything is native, unfortunately, but I heard that the connector guy from the American product team is here, so I'll catch you in the Genius Bar later. And where to start? We obviously decided to walk with all the native connectors first to make sure that we have a good data foundation, and then afterwards build in the complexity and build our webhook connectors. So we decided that the CDP should be living in the business units. So by doing that, that also means that we needed to make sure that the business had a say and that the business were also able to prioritize what use cases that we needed to do. So we were looking into a lot of different aspects of how to prioritize the use cases. And the first place to start is always to look into how complex is this use case, or what is the business value? Then we also looked into, is it a use case that can only be used in a specific channel, or can it be used across teams? Or is it something that we use both in metas and in kicks? And then obviously also, okay, does this use case actually give us more revenue, or is it a customer experience use case, or is it because we want to do some more internal efficiency? And we do it quite simple. So we gather up and have a huge use case catalog, and then we sit together with the different channels and talk about what is the level of complexity versus what is the level of value for the business. And obviously, the best place to start is where there's low complexity and a high business value, because that is your low-hanging fruits. Yes, so because we want to make sure that we have CDP business ownership, we created an operating model where we are making sure that we get top management to set up the strategy on how we want to do customer personalization and use our first-party data. And then we have like a center of excellence where we have the people that are head of channels to make sure that we are taking this strategy and then prioritizing the use cases, and then we have the delivery teams who are sitting in each channels and making sure that the campaigns or whatever use case we are doing are being set. And how do we use it in practice? So as you can see here in the pink box, this is a data foundation that we have. We are very happy with Databricks and are having a lot of our complex data there for instance, a lot of our models, propensity to buy, customer lifetime value, churn prediction, all that stuff, it lives in Databricks and are being ingested into Tealium. We also get data from all our physical stores. And we have our website tracking and app tracking that is also ingested into Tealium, and then all the different loyalty club and member data that we have. We are using audience stream and event stream, and we are connected into all these different connectors. And I guess every MarTech stack is different. So I have just taken some use cases with us today to just show you how we actually use it. So we do a lot of app and on-site personalization. We have 3 different technologies that we're using. So what we're doing is that we are sending Tealium audiences to, for instance, our product recommendation engine. We also have sorting and search where we are sending audiences to. And then we are working a lot with content personalization as well, and trying to do some more like segmented personalization on the different content elements that we have. Then we have our retail media connectors. We are using Adform and Kevil. We have, as you saw in the video, 90 different placements where we can get some sort of retail media communication. And for instance, we are sending audiences based on if you bought a brand or you had some sort of interaction with a category or etc. It really depends on what we are sending. And we also talked with our customers on paid media channels. One of the things that we're really happy about is that we're working with suppression. And I would say this is one of the also low-hanging fruits when working with paid media. Try to exclude all the customers who already did something, right? We don't want to give them annoying campaign ads. And then we are also using a lot of the behavioral tracking from Tealium to create triggers. So for instance, abandoned basket, abandoned browse category, etc. All that stuff. What are the results? I guess there might be some here today who doesn't have Tealium yet. But I would say that if you need something to start with and present for your top management, I would definitely start talking about how CDP can influence your paid media performance. We see after using Tealium that we get a more faster and more flexible way of using our customer data. We get a better quality on what segments that we are using and have a higher control in it. We also get a more intelligent ad spend. So what we are actually seeing is that because we're doing this, we actually get a decrease in our CPC. And something that our top management is super happy about is also that we got an increase in our ROAS. And that's all due to that we are creating even better audiences, more relevant audiences. We are using our first-party data, and we're working with exclusion of segments. In general, I would say that Tealium has been like a core platform in our paid media teams and retail media teams, and we're super, super happy that we invested in Tealium. So, how do you actually create an omnichannel use case? And I just want to show you step by step on how we do it. So in Matas, we have free memberships, but we also have subscription memberships. They are called Matas Plus. And what we see is that when you subscribe as a member, your customer lifetime value increases 3 times. So we really want to recruit these customers. So what we did was we looked into the main USPs on why you should become a Plus member. You get free delivery, you get triple as many points, special offers, or you might actually just like all the USPs. So we created 4 different programs or segments, and this is here where you create the segmented personalization. Then we looked into the technical requirements and saw, can we do this use case only by Tealium, or do we still need to create something in Databricks? And we had to do a little bit in Databricks still. And then we sent the attributes to Tealium. we decided what connectors that we wanted to do, and then we could actually just start the content creation and campaign creation. And it would look like this. So no matter where our customers who are not a Plus member would meet us, they would get a personalized campaign based on what program they are in. Yes. So I guess for any retailer who works with the retail media, you might also experience this struggle that we do. So we just want to make sure that everything that we do is relevant for our customers. We don't want to give them too much noise. We want to smoothen the experience with us. So we really work with how we can balance creating the personalized experience, but also making sure that we are making the benefits out of retail media. So what you can see here is that on our top banner, we have 3 different placements. And these are constantly being changed. Each placement allows 3 different audiences. And all these audiences are based on different behaviors or like decisions on what we believe would be most relevant for this customer. And we have a lot of different placements where we can do this. And for us, having this opportunity of using Tealium and create audiences and integrate it to our retail media connectors, it actually allows us to still have the personalized experience and also monetize our suppliers and making sure that that area of the business works. So my best suggestion or recommendation would be, if you're working with retail media, make sure that your customer doesn't feel monetized. Make sure that it's still relevant, no matter what initiative it is. That's my best recommendation. So, what's next? So we have a lot of use cases in our catalog, and we want to try to focus a little bit more this year. The first 2 years of Tealium, we have just made sure we had the data foundation and that we had all the connectors that we wanted to use. And when you do that, you have your Ferrari, but maybe you're only driving in your first gear, right? So we will try to focus a little bit more on specific use cases and areas. And one of them is retail media as a self-service. We have really many suppliers, and setting up campaigns and content is very time-consuming for our teams. So imagine you as a supplier, you can just log in, and then you can just choose whatever audience or what data point that you would like to use, and then you can map your own campaign, and then you can also track how it actually performs. That is the dream scenario, and this is something we are currently implementing within these 3 months. Next is smarter content personalization. We are currently trying to create an integration to our content management system, Contentful, so that we can make sure that all the different content elements we have across both our app and our website, that we can map it up to Tealium audiences. So we're also looking into orchestration as well. And lastly, we want to do more internal activation. We've been very focused on how can we reach out to our customers. But by internal activation, I mean actually giving more data to our employees. So for instance, if you're in the customer service, imagine that you get a call. And because we already have the phone number in Tealium, we can suddenly see some data points about, is this a good customer? Is this someone who's returning a lot? Is she a plus member? Or are there any campaigns that she really loves to buy? And also want to make sure that our physical stores, that we have the same opportunity for all our cashiers. Every time that our customers, they come to the store, they always give out their membership number or their phone number, and then we have a lot of data points, and we just want to use Tealium to fuel even more data, so we can make sure that our customers are getting an even better customer experience. So, if there's something that I want to really, really stress on, is that if you're working in retail media, if you want to work on it on a long-term basis, really make sure that you're doing something for your customer, and yeah, focus on personalization, on content, products, as much as you can do, because in that way they don't feel monetized because it's more relevant for them. Thank you so much.